We are at the forefront of many innovative and exciting things developing in the world of senior living. With Tim Mallad, CEO of Forefront Living, as our guide, this show will shine a light on how older adults can embrace these changes to live active, happy, fulfilling, and thriving lives. Through discussions with senior living and hospice professionals, architects and designers, and people of all ages, will help today's seniors envision the art of the possible and take steps toward achieving the future of their dreams. Welcome to At the Forefront.
Welcome to At the Forefront. I'm Tim Mallad, CEO of Forefront Living, and really excited today. We're going to do something a little bit different. I think through the gift of Zoom, we're going to take a trip to San Antonio, and I think what's unique about today, it's going to be unique in a number of ways, is I'm actually talking to two future residents of Bay of Vita in San Antonio, and this is really the second time officially that we've met, but the first time that we're going to talk about something we have in common, which is an interest and a passion for Bay of Vita, but also getting to know Phil and Karen Hunke. And I think what's interesting as I prepare for these episodes, Wendy, who really compiles and creates a script for these, usually sends me a lot of detailed information, a lot of words, a lot of background information. This time I received photos, and I received lots of photos. And I thought, okay, there's a story here. And, the first photo I opened, I saw a very active, happy couple standing with Jerusalem in the background, and I'm like, okay, that's very interesting. And I thought I would see more pictures, perhaps, of Jerusalem or Israel. And then the next photo I saw was of a kangaroo, and then the next photo I see the couple with gorillas in the background, and then I see the couple with their name behind them, and there's a clinic or a medical facility behind them. And I'm happy to say today I see the couple actually sitting in front of me in some place I actually know, which is the information center at Bay of Vita. And welcome to Phil and Karen Hunke. And I guess with that introduction, can you tell me a little bit about yourselves and see if I got some of the pictures right? And I think there's a love definitely of travel, and I think a support of the community from what I saw there. And it appears outdoors are very important as well. And I'm very curious about the gorillas. I have to ask about that at some point. So with that, I'll ask you, welcome you, and I'll ask you to tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Good morning. Go ahead, Karen.
Well, we have been very blessed to have a really fun life. We lived in the Rio Grande Valley for 40 years before moving to the San Antonio region. And it was a great place to bring our kids up, and lots of outdoor things. We had a ranch down there, and there's so many birds and so many animals that live down there that don't really live any other place in the United States. So it was fun to be involved with all of that. And then I got involved with the Gladys Porter Zoo and was able to really learn about it from backwards and forwards. And I got to be friends with all the keepers, and they let me learn all about their animals and go back behind the scenes and pet those animals. It was like being a grandmother and going and seeing your grandkids. So we had lots of fun down there. Phil had lots of great experiences too.
I was a pediatric dentist, and there was the first one in the communities down there. But then one of my real passions was hunting and fishing, and that was a mecca for it. We had South Padre Island and in the bay fishing in the Gulf, and then we had lots of wonderful hunting in the area. So I got to have great fun on the weekends. San Antonio was always our home away from home. If we wanted to go to the big city, this is where we came because San Antonio had the shopping and all the things that we needed to. So San Antonio is a place that we have spent when we would leave the valley and wanted to go to this big city. This was the place that we went to.
I
San
think
Antonio was kind of a second home for us.
Well, I think what's interesting is when you're developing a retirement community and you're looking at sites. When we found, the site where this community is going to be, we actually got in and I shouldn't admit this in front of everybody, but we were in a rental car. And we drove it to the top of the site. And there was sort of a road there, but maybe there wasn't really a road there. And as we got up there, we talked about who would call this home. There was a lot of discussion about individuals who enjoyed nature, who enjoyed the outdoors, that wanted an active lifestyle, and it really resonated with us. So when Wendy sent those photos, it was like, is this a photo shoot for Bay of Vita, or are these actually individuals who are going to move in to Bay of Vita? So I'm setting you up for the question, I guess. Why did you choose Bay of Vita, or what interests you about Bay of Vita?
Well, mainly because of the location. Just San Antonio, first of all, but also this location that you have chosen in San Antonio. It's going to be convenient to the medical center. It's going to be convenient for shopping, for all the things that people like to go into San Antonio and do. So the location was really important to us.
A lot of great restaurants and a lot of the newer growth of San Antonio. Yeah, location was real important, and you guys have got a key location, and that will have great views and be up higher and looking out over a part of the beginning of the hill country and the rolling hills that are there. But then you're only 5 or 10 minutes from great restaurants and shopping, and in particular for older people, the medical center and doctor's offices.
I'd like to think you saw Bay of Vita and that was the only retirement community that you looked at, but I have a feeling you probably looked at other communities. And I'm curious if I could hear a little bit about the journey and what helped you decide to come here, and maybe some of the perspectives you gained from other places that you looked, if you looked.
It's been an interesting evolution as we never thought that we were going to age like this at all. I think that we'd slide right by and stay out of the way. But we have witnessed and shared the change of life with a lot of friends, and seen this happen. And so it's kind of gotten us thinking about things. And one of the things that we discovered as we first even started thinking about this a few years ago was San Antonio didn't really have anything, and our friends were seeing the same problem, and they were going to Austin and Houston and Dallas, and there was nothing here. There was, I say, nothing. We actually, Karen, we've gone to a couple of places, or know about a couple, visited one for sure.
In Bernie. Uh-huh.
Do we say names or?
I think we'll keep it a high level. I've got a lot of friends in San Antonio and other CEOs that I interact with, and I think San Antonio has some very different offerings. I think Bay of Vita is, I think, as you were alluding to, is unique. And I guess I would ask you, we've talked about proximity, but what features are there features or elements that really attracted you to this? I know proximity to healthcare and shopping and restaurants. Are there any other features or elements that attracted you that were a differentiator perhaps from what you saw?
Well, to me, the fact that we can go in to a completely new place and we can have choices to make on the interior of where we're going to live, and watch that be done, and that's our place for the first time.
Phil, thoughts on that? Or
Yeah, I think as we've seen the preliminary plans, I think that you all have been very sensitive to the culture that's here in South Texas. It's very unique, very prominent, and I think one that will make people feel more at home here, and living here to be part of the community. And that's what I think you said earlier.
That's what we like about it.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting. What we do, and we're not a very large organization, but I think everything we do is unique, and we recognize that communities are different. Even in Dallas, as we began with Presbyterian Village North in Dallas, and the outlook at Windhaven is just on the cusp of opening. How different Plano is than Dallas. Let alone going to San Antonio. And I think so many of us have had a lot of fun in San Antonio, and we see San Antonio, as a river walk and all the things there. But when you really are in San Antonio and you get the experience of being at the beginning of hill country, and you touch the history, you touch the culture and the just the different things that make it so vibrant. That's our hope for Bay of Vita, and that's why it's called Bay of Vita, the beautiful life, because that's very much how we see San Antonio and have experienced it. So many of the people that we work with here have either lived in San Antonio or have had a connection there. So saying that, do you have you known anyone who's lived in a retirement community or had experience with somebody who's been in a community or lived in a community?
We have friends and also church friends that live in two or three places here in this area, and Bernie, and then one here in San Antonio, and one in South San Antonio, that have been here, and we find this to be completely different than the three that they have. We also have very good friends, some of our closer friends that we've had that have been in Austin or in Austin now and living in facilities there. Karen, you?
I think everybody seems happy with where they are, but this just seems like such a different place. And I also am very attracted to the fact that it's a nonprofit, and I think that's important to us.
So tell me a little bit more about that. Why is nonprofit sponsorship important to you?
Probably from my point of view, I've worked with so many nonprofits through the years, and I respect what they're doing, and I respect all the plans that you've made around that.
I think it's also seeing how the finances are very open, and to see and know that things will be fairly treated long term, and not knowing what how many years you'll be here, but I think things look very open and very fair, and how the pricing and how everything is structured, and I would say the willingness that we have seen so far in this project to want to get things done and to open and listen to those that are coming in. Your staff and people here, Sally and her team, are very open to what can we do to make this better? What can we do in your thoughts? It's kind of a can-do organization and project, and let's get this done, and we want to hear what's important. And I don't think all the for-profit people would come in, but I think you have a great staff, and it's fun to be in and know that we do have a voice, and that you all are open to getting this done in a very fair and personal way.
And I think it'll be fair to the folks that are going to be viewing this to say that one of the things that Forefront Living did in anticipation of even beginning the process to invite people to come in for a chance to see Bay of Vita, a chance to see the information center, was to hold informational sessions. And one of our core tenets is transparency, and we talked a lot about that in those meetings. And I think if you were to talk to any of our current residents or individuals who are related to the organization, that is something I think that is our trademark, is transparency and communication with the people we serve and gathering that input. And it's called a community for a reason. It's not a you're going to be with us a very long time. We're going to be sharing the same space for a very long time. And I guess with that, since we're talking about things that you want and things that you desire and vision, when you're looking few years down the road, what are you looking forward to, or what do you want to see? Can you talk to us maybe about how you envision your day or your experience or things that you're going to be wanting to do when you move in? It's a loaded question.
Karen, you want to go, or you?
Go ahead.
I think we're making the transition and processing all of this in making the change, and I would say there's been a couple of things that we've done that have influenced us of looking long term. We've been very fortunate in having as we have matured and as our lives have changed, we've had a group of attorneys that have done estate planning and working with us, and we've also had people in the investment field that we've had a long time that have many long-time customers and people that they have associated with. So for me, being somewhat, I guess, of a businessman and particularly wanting to be somewhat inquisitive, we made a point to go in and talk with both of those groups as we had meetings with them in the estate planning people and our investment people, and ask them how they have a lot of clients that are our age and older. And I asked, how has this worked? How have their lives worked, and where have you found people to be the happiest and had a quality of life that they were pleased with and discovered that worked best for them? And it was really hands down to say, I guess that they had, and it was both of them essentially said the same thing. It was pretty unanimous that when they had gone to an upper scale, high-end retirement center, that the socializing and the life was much better than one that stayed at home and finished their life and had their lifestyle there. I was somewhat impressed and taken back by their support and encouragement of us to do that and look at this.
They also said we should have done this a lot sooner. So in every one of them.
Not uncommon to hear that. Our friends that are living now in Austin and a couple of places there have said and found people there, and they've asked the question, did we do this too soon? And probably more people say, I probably wish we had done it sooner. We'll experience and find our own way, but those are we've tried to do our homework and talk with people and just keep up with our friends and see how they're doing in life. We were on the phone with some last night. So we think this is going to offer a quality of life for us that is going to exceed what we had thought we would probably have.
Well, and I think you're absolutely right. I could tell you that if you were to come to PVN, Hawthorne is the newest addition there, and if I hear 5 times a week the same comment, I wish I would have done this sooner, that would be a small number of people that I hear it from. And I often wonder, and I scratch my head as people are looking at that decision, and there are people on the other side of it, how do we bridge that gap? And I think it's very much, it's the community, it's the lifestyle, it's the energy of being with other people and the socialization and not having to deal with the house. At some point, the things that we've collected in the homes we built no longer are our friends. And I think there's the ability, I think, Karen, as you said, to create a new space and start afresh with a new community. I'm going to switch gears just for a minute because we've talked a little bit about nonprofits. We've talked about communities, but you've been involved in the community, and I believe you have a special needs clinic building. And can you tell us a little bit about the journey there and what that's about and how that came to be?
Well, Phil was a pediatric dentist in McAllen for many, many years, and he was trained in his residency on how to take care of special needs children. And so he did a lot of that, and he really enjoyed them. But then they became adults, and they no longer fit in his little chairs, and he didn't have the things needed for adult care. It was very frustrating. And there are a lot of special needs people. And so as time went on, and we moved up here about 10 years ago to the Bernie area. And he was still involved with the dental school here, even though he didn't attend that dental school. He's been very close to them and has watched their progress. And it's really a great place. They've had great leadership with the UT health system all these years. And we found out that there are no special needs dental clinics anywhere in this area. There are a couple of them on the East Coast, and that's about it. And there just happened to be a spot on the first floor of the dental school that could be made into one, and it was readily accessible to anybody that had a wheelchair coming in, or if they came in an ambulance. And so we put the seed money down for that clinic, which allowed them then to also get grants. And so they built it, and it opened in February of this year.
Oh, congratulations.
And it was really an exciting event. I had no idea there were so many people that it meant so much to, because either they had family with special needs or they were close to someone who did. And, you know, what do you do with a 40-year-old child that you're caring for that you cannot find dental care for? So we were really, really excited and pleased about it. And I think they're doing great things.
This will serve San Antonio, but it'll actually serve the whole state of Texas and of course South Texas, further south. But we've been very honored and lucky, privileged to be fortunate in so many ways, and sharing in the community is part of our lives.
This is an emotional thing for him. One of the things that we're excited about for that clinic is that every dental student will go and matriculate through there, as well as all hygienists. And so they will learn how to take care of special needs, no matter whether they become a general dentist or a specialized dentist. But also, there's always that hope that it may become a specialty someday. Just like Phil was a pediatric dentist, there may be a special needs specialty. So that would be nice.
We've been fortunate to be able to do that. We did some things in our community back with Boys and Girls Club, and then just recently a learning center at the World Birding Center in McAllen. And we've been involved in Bernie and in the beginning of a school, preschool and nature school, and that we were involved in the development of that school. So finding ways to be involved with children and education and outdoor life has been a special area of ours, and this is a haven and mecca for it here in the San Antonio area.
Well, I think it's absolutely incredible, and it's unfortunate to hear that there aren't places like that. And you know, I think doing what we do day to day, and working with seniors, and then working further down the road with individuals that have special needs, or whether there are Alzheimer's needs or adults with special needs, there's a gap. There's a big gap in. It's surprising that there isn't a specialty track for that in general. So very grateful that individuals like you exist and are there to help identify and support those needs. I'm getting the card that we're almost at the end of our chat that just started 3 minutes ago, so I don't know how that happened. But as we bring things to a close, are there other things that we haven't heard about you, or that you would like to share with us, or your perspectives on Bay of Vita?
We are anxious to see the progress. We're anxious to see the groundbreaking.
Yeah. I just want to thank you for you, Sally, and your corporation have really, and Forefront have really put together a beautiful facility here for people to come, and we hope that you'll keep the same good people that you have working here that are open and really helpful. And as we grow and move, we know it's going to be some time, and it takes time to do good things. But we have been very impressed with the openness and that we do have a voice and being part of it. And we look forward to moving along as you finished interviewing. And this has been a real opportunity for us to get in on the ground floor and to be in this early and part of the. Actually, it's just still on paper. Haven't even broken ground yet, but we look forward to being involved with the whole process.
Well, that's wonderful. And when you have time, you should ask Sally, Arturo, or others about the interview process for their positions. And as future residents, I can assure you that we really work hard to find the right individuals to serve and be part of our community. We actually do about a 3 to 4 hour interview process, and it's centered around our values, which are faith-based and nonprofit-based, and their diversity, integrity, stewardship, and compassion. And they got to meet at least 4 different people, and they interviewed us as much as we interviewed them. So it's a very good early report card you've just given on the culture there and the experience. With that, I look forward to seeing you again. I look forward probably to more chats, maybe even another one of these as we progress, and we both look forward to Bay of Vita. So thank you very much for being our guests today. Thank you for watching and listening. Look forward to talking again.